All right, so ready for one of history's biggest head-scratchers.
I'm intrigued. Hit me with it.
The Nazca Lines in Peru.
Oh, yeah, those are definitely a mystery.
You sent over some excerpts from the Wikipedia article, and whoa is right. Yeah, like I'm already hooked.
Yeah, they're really something.
Feels like we're about to unlock like a secret code from an ancient civilization.
Absolutely. I'm in.
You in?
100%.
All right, good, because this is going to be wild.
Yeah, the Nazca Lines are like, what a giant puzzle just scattered across the desert.
Right.
The more we learn,
Yeah.
the more pieces we seem to find, and it just gets more and more intricate.
Speaking of pictures,
Okay.
imagine this.
Yeah.
Okay, a desert so vast and empty, it feels like another planet.
Okay.
Got it.
Yep.
Now picture giant etchings carved into this barren landscape.
All right, I'm picturing it.
Lines, shapes, a monkey, a hummingbird, even what looks like a dude waving hello.
It's unreal.
It's art on a scale that like boggles the mind.
Totally bogs the mind. And for the longest time, nobody even knew they were there.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So they were just hidden in plain sight this whole time.
Pretty much. Yeah, it wasn't until the 20th century.
Get out.
Yeah.
So nobody knew
Nope.
until the 1900s?
Yeah, when pilots were flying over this region.
Wow.
Yeah, they were the first to really see the full scale of these geoglyphs.
Hold up.
Yeah.
So these pilots are just cruising along, probably thinking about, lunch or something.
Right.
And bam, a giant spider appears out of nowhere.
Exactly.
I'd probably think I was hallucinating.
I would think the same thing. I wouldn't blame them. Because we're not talking about tiny doodles in the sand.
No.
Some of these figures are over 1,000 feet long.
1,000 feet?
Over 1,000 feet long. Yeah, to put that into perspective, that's like 3 football fields laid end to end.
That's insane.
And they cover an area larger than some cities.
No way!
Yeah, almost 170 square miles.
This is wild. Okay, that's just crazy. You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Those massive crop circles.
Oh, yeah.
People find in fields, except 1,000,000 times more complex.
Right.
And speaking of complex, how did the Nazca people even do this?
Yeah.
We're talking about like precision,
Total.
but on a massive scale.
A massive scale.
With the tools they had way back then.
Right. It's mind-blowing. They weren't exactly working with bulldozers and GPS, right?
No kidding?
Yeah, from what archaeologists have pieced together, the Nazca people, they were masters of their environment. They carefully scraped away the top layer of these reddish-brown pebbles that cover the desert floor.
Okay.
And by doing that, they revealed this lighter-colored soil underneath.
So it's like a giant etch-a-sketch.
Basically.
Simple in theory, but on a monumental scale.
Exactly.
Makes you wonder how long it took to create even one of these figures,
Right.
let alone hundreds.
And with such precision, it's incredible. They must have had such a deep understanding of geometry and surveying techniques.
Right.
I mean, keep in mind, this is a culture that thrived in one of the driest places on Earth.
That's true.
So they had to be incredibly resourceful and organized just to survive,
Yeah.
let alone create art of this magnitude.
All right, so we're starting to understand the how,
Okay.
but the real brain teaser is the why. I mean, what would possess a culture to dedicate so much time and energy to creating these massive designs, especially if you could barely even see them from the ground?
Right. It's the million-dollar question.
You're right.
That has captivated researchers and armchair archaeologists for decades.
For sure.
And you're right. It's hard to imagine a simple answer.
Yeah.
The Wikipedia article you shared,
Yeah.
it touches on some of the leading theories, and one of the most popular
Let's hear it.
is that the Nazca Lines were astronomical markers. They were mapping out the stars and the constellations.
So like a giant celestial calendar etched into the earth.
Exactly.
That makes sense when you think about how important the stars were to ancient civilization.
Absolutely.
They relied on them for navigation, for agriculture, even religious practices.
Precisely. Think of Stonehenge in England.
Yeah.
Or the pyramids of Egypt.
Okay.
These structures are all aligned with celestial events.
Wow.
So it shows a deep fascination with the cosmos that they had.
Yeah.
And when you look at the straight lines and the geometric patterns of the Nazca Lines,
Right.
it's easy to draw those parallels.
Is.
Yeah. And some researchers have even found alignments with solstices and equinoxes.
Really?
Which suggests a connection to the changing seasons.
Okay, that's pretty convincing
Yeah.
for the lines and shapes. But what about the animals?
Right.
It's a bit harder to picture a purely astronomical explanation
Sure.
for a giant hummingbird or spider.
Right. You've hit on a major point of contention.
Right.
That's where the theory of religious significance comes in,
Okay.
and the Nazca people's deep reverence for water,
Which would make sense in the desert.
especially in their arid environment where it was a very precious resource.
Of course, water is life.
Exactly. Many archaeologists believe that the lines, especially those that lead to mountains or water sources,
Okay.
might have been like sacred paths
I see.
used in rituals and pilgrimages
Makes sense.
dedicated to water deities.
Okay, so picture this.
Right.
A procession of people following these lines, maybe carrying offerings or performing ceremonies,
Yeah,
all in hopes of bringing rain and ensuring a good harvest.
right.
It's a powerful image that really resonates with that whole water is life thing.
Especially in such a dry environment.
Right, exactly. And the animal figures?
Yep.
They might represent those deities or symbolize like different aspects of water and fertility?
That's the idea.
Yeah, okay.
For example, take the hummingbird. With its ability to like seemingly disappear and reappear,
Right.
slitting between worlds,
Right.
it could have been linked to the cycle of rain.
I could see that.
And the spider,
Oh, interesting.
the master weaver, creating these intricate webs that capture those life-giving water droplets.
Wow.
There are some compelling interpretations there.
Okay, that's giving me goosebumps.
Right.
It's like we're glimpsing into the minds of these ancient people,
Yeah,
connecting with their beliefs and their fears.
for sure.
But the article also mentions a totally different theory,
Okay.
that the Nazca lines were used as giant looms.
Giant looms.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time picturing that one.
It's definitely a more unconventional theory.
Yeah.
And admittedly, there's not a ton of evidence to back it up. But the idea is that the Nazca people, who were known for their incredible textiles and weaving skills,
Right.
might have used the lines as guides in their textile production.
Interesting.
Like maybe to create the super long threads
Oh.
needed for their looms.
Interesting. But I can see why that one's debated.
Right.
It does make you realize just how many different ways we can interpret these lines.
Exactly.
It's like trying to decipher a message from the past without a key.
Right.
But that's part of what makes this whole thing so fascinating.
Oh, wait. It keeps us guessing, for sure. Keeps us asking questions.
It does. And speaking of asking questions,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier that the story of the Nazca Lines is far from over.
Oh, it's not even close to being over.
Really?
Yeah.
What else is there?
Well, the Wikipedia article hinted at some recent discoveries.
Oh, really?
Using artificial intelligence
Get out.
that seemed to be like shaking things up a bit.
Artificial intelligence. How does that even play into this?
I know, right? It's like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It really is.
Yeah.
So what AI is literally uncovering ancient mysteries now.
Pretty much.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, in recent years, archaeologists have started using AI technology, specifically drones,
Okay.
with super high-resolution cameras.
Makes sense.
And these powerful machine learning algorithms
Wow.
to scan the Nazca Desert.
Well,
And what they're finding is pretty much rewriting everything we thought we knew about these lines.
Wait, hold on. So the AI is like connecting the dots,
In a way, yeah.
seeing patterns that like we can't even make out.
It's incredible. These AI systems can detect the tiniest variations in the terrain.
Wow.
Things that are invisible to the naked eye,
Right.
even from the air.
Wow.
Yeah, and using this, they've been able to identify hundreds of geoglyphs that nobody even knew existed.
No way. Hundreds.
Hundreds. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, and some of them even predate the figures that we're most familiar with.
So even older than the ones we already knew about.
Exactly, which suggests an even longer, richer tradition of geoglyph creation.
Wow. Okay, so what kinds of new designs are we talking about?
Well,
More animal?
some more animals, yeah. But
Okay.
also we're seeing something completely different this time around.
Like what?
Well, get this. In 2024 alone, archaeologists uncovered over 300 new geoglyphs using this AI technology.
300 in
Right.
1 year.
Just in 1 year, yeah. And we're talking parrots, cats, monkeys, even a killer whale.
A killer whale.
Yeah.
In the desert.
It's amazing.
They've also found more abstract designs,
Like what?
some depicting decapitated heads.
Decapitated heads. Okay, now that's a plot twist I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, it takes a darker turn.
That sends chills down my spine.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about the stories behind those designs.
Right.
Like, what do they represent to the Nazca people?
Right.
It's like we just opened a whole new chapter in this ancient mystery.
It really is a new chapter.
You know, it's both amazing and a little bit terrifying about these AI discoveries?
What's that?
It makes you realize just how much more is out there hidden in plain sight.
Right.
We've been studying these lines for decades.
Yeah.
And suddenly, bam,
Yep.
AI comes along and uncovers a treasure trove of new designs. Totally.
Like it's revealing a secret layer to history.
Like we had only scratched the surface.
Right.
Yeah, it really highlights the power of technology
Yeah.
to not only like reshape our present and future, but also
Yeah.
to illuminate our past in ways we never thought possible.
It's true.
It's like having a new set of eyes on a mystery we thought we were starting to solve.
It's like the Nazca Lines are even bigger mystery fans than we are.
Maybe.
They always keeping us on our toes with new clues.
They definitely keep us guessing.
But these incredible discoveries also make me think about the future.
Okay.
How do we protect something as fragile as these lines?
Yeah, that's the big question.
That's with things like climate change and, people being people,
Right.
always on the horizon.
It's a critical question
Right.
and a major challenge. I mean, the Nazca Lines might seem timeless, etched into the earth like they are, but
Right.
they're actually incredibly vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, think about it.
Okay.
The desert climate that's preserved them for centuries.
Right.
It's changing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're seeing more rain,
Oh, no.
more wind,
That's not good.
and those delicate lines are literally being eroded away.
That's heartbreaking to think about. It's like losing a piece of history,
Yeah.
a whisper from the past, with every gust of wind.
It's true. And it's not just the environment we have to worry about.
Oh, right.
Human activity plays a role, too.
Of course.
Urban sprawl encroaching on the area, pollution,
Right.
even things like off-road vehicles.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
tourists just trying to get a little too close for a selfie.
Yeah.
All of that can cause irreparable damage.
It's a good reminder that we're not just uncovering the past.
Right.
We're responsible for protecting it.
We are.
So what's being done to safeguard these lines for future generations?
Well, there are ongoing efforts,
Good.
but it's a constant battle.
I bet.
Peru has established a national park around the main concentration of geoglyphs,
Okay.
and UNESCO has designated the area as a World Heritage Site.
Okay, that's got to help, right? Being recognized as a World Heritage Site.
It definitely helps.
Okay.
But it's not a magic shield, unfortunately.
Right.
The area is vast
Yeah.
and difficult to patrol.
That's true.
And let's be real,
Yeah,
funding for archaeological preservation isn't always a top priority.
unfortunately.
Yeah, but you know what the most powerful tools we have are?
What's that?
Education and responsible tourism.
Makes sense.
Making sure people understand the significance of these lines and the importance of, treating them with respect.
It's like that old saying, take only pictures, leave only footprints.
Exactly.
But in this case, maybe even the footprints need to be carefully considered.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a delicate dance between sharing these incredible wonders with the world
Right.
and ensuring that they're still around for generations to come to marvel at.
So after this deep dive,
Yeah.
after exploring all the theories, the controversies, the mind-blowing AI discoveries,
It's a lot to unpack.
it really is. What speaks to you most about the Nazca Lines?
For me, it's the enduring mystery they embody. I mean, we've learned so much about the Nazca people,
Right.
their culture, their ingenuity. But those lines, those figures etched into the earth, they still hold their secrets close.
Yeah, they do.
They're a testament to the fact that even in the age of AI and drones,
I know, right?
there are still enigmas that defy easy explanation.
It's like they're reminding us to stay humble,
A little bit.
that no matter how much we think we know,
Right.
there's always more to discover.
Always.
And sometimes the most important discoveries are the questions that we haven't even thought to ask yet.
It's so true. The Nazca Lines are a powerful reminder that the past is never truly past.
Ooh, I like that.
It's a living presence,
It is.
whispering to us through the sands of time,
Wow.
inviting us to listen,
Yeah,
to learn,
yeah.
and to never stop asking why.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect note to end on. The Nazca Lines, a breathtaking testament to human creativity,
Absolutely.
a tantalizing mystery, and a call to action
Right.
to protect our shared heritage.
For sure.
A big thank you to our expert for this incredible journey.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
And to you, our listeners, for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time,
Until next time, keep exploring
keep questioning.
and keep those imaginations running wild.